You were always told to keep going, to do more, but never once told it was okay to stop. So you kept scrubbing mirrors that only showed more confusion. You took the fog as a sign there was a place to get to, but that place was never real. You're not missing anything. You're not a broken piece of the puzzle. You're the whole background the puzzle shows up on. And that background doesn't need to be fixed, labeled, or rescued. Pause for 3 seconds, not to calm down or catch your breath, but to simply notice what's still there when nothing is being controlled. There's something steady behind all your trying, something that never moves. And that's stillness. You've never lost it. Trying harder only builds more resistance. Even the chase for peace becomes stressful, and the one doing the chasing becomes the chaos. That seeker is just a thought pattern, a ghost outfit worn by your own awareness. And when you really look, that person you think you are can't be found. So next time a thought says, I need to improve, stop and ask, improve for who? Watch that sentence drift by with no one holding it. Let it pass like a breeze through an open window. You don't become awareness, you realize you always were. It was effort that made it feel hidden. Awareness isn't something you earn or create. It's what's here when the mind stops scrambling. It's not a prize, it's what's already present. Just sit still for a minute with no goal. Let your thoughts roll through like weather, and listen for what stays when everything else moves. You've searched with your jaw tight, your eyes locked on some future image, not knowing the one who's searching is made of the same noise it's chasing. That's why it never really works, because the search itself is the problem, not the solution. The end of the search isn't some new state you stumble upon. It's what's always been quietly sitting beneath all the chasing. You don't have to win a debate with your mind. You just need to see that its questions answer themselves, then fall apart. That voice pointing out what's wrong with you? It's just an old habit dressed up like a friend. It only sticks around because you keep believing it. Stop feeding it your attention, and it fades away. In that quiet, you realize nothing was ever missing. We're told life needs managing, upgrading, fixing, like we're all part of a broken system just barely holding together. But the system doesn't need upgrades. It's our belief in control that keeps jamming the gears. Whatever breathes you doesn't need your input. The air doesn't ask your name before it fills your lungs. Just sit and notice noticing. Don't label it. Don't try to measure it. Just rest in the space before labels start. You'll begin to see how everything rises and falls. Accept the awareness that watches it all happen. That space doesn't need training. It only needs to stop being ignored. Thoughts show up like birds flying through a sky that never moves. The sky doesn't judge them. It just allows. And this allowing, it's not something you earn. It's already here. You've just been too caught up trying to fix the sky. The one doing the fixing is the same one that disappears when the fixing stops. There's no big moment ahead, no finish line, no upgraded version of you waiting to pop out. That entire story came from a voice inside your head, and you believed it because you forgot to ask who was even listening. That voice has no shape, no face, no place you can point to. You were never the one driving this. You were the movement pretending to steer, and that wheel you thought you were turning, it never moved a thing. The feeling of control was just a quick flicker of thought tagging itself with meaning, but meaning crumbles the moment you see it from behind. Behind every plan is stillness, and behind every silence there's no hidden plan waiting. You try to grab your experience like it's some object to hold and manage, but it slips right through because it was never solid to begin with. The urge to hold on to it comes from the illusion that it belongs to you, but nothing that flows through you can ever be owned. You can't trap the wind by clenching your fist. You can only notice it's already passing through you. The belief in personal progress is like walking down a looping hallway. Every door leads to the same room, just a bit neater, a bit more polished, but still the same space. The one trying to escape is the same one unknowingly building the walls, then wondering why. Freedom still feels out of reach. No effort made from inside the loop can break the loop, because effort is part of the loop itself. Be still, not because stillness is better, but because it uncovers what's always been unmoving. The part of you that simply watches without. Reacting isn't a state to reach. It's your natural default. You don't need to figure it out. You just need to stop pretending it's not already here. You won't find it by searching. You'll see it when the searching stops, and you notice what's still there. Let things pass without sticking labels on them. Don't turn feelings into stories. Don't rush to explain or define them. When pain shows up, it doesn't care about your identity, and when it goes, it doesn't need closure. It only becomes your pain when you narrate it. Each thought claims it's urgent. more important than silence, insisting you wrap yourself in its shape. But thoughts are just echoes, fragments posing as full identities, like paper masks fluttering in a breeze that doesn't pause for any of them. You're not inside those thoughts, they're inside you, and they fade the moment you stop reaching for them. There's no path you have to walk to find presence, because presence asks for no movement at all. It only asks that you stop avoiding it. The habit of avoiding isn't loud or obvious, it's quiet, steady and subtle, like a soft urge to pull away. You don't need to fight it, just notice it. That's all it takes for it to start losing momentum. That moment when it feels like you've lost something, that's when you're closest, because what you lost was never real to begin with. You can't lose what isn't a thing, and awareness isn't a thing. You can't observe it from the outside, because no such outside exists. You're not here to transform into someone else. You're here to realize you were never the image you believed. The whole identity is a swirling mix of thoughts, memories, beliefs layered on feelings, pretending to form a person. Pull just one loose thread and the whole illusion unravels, but what's left behind doesn't collapse. Quit labeling emotions like they belong to you. Stop weighing each thought like you're supposed to own it. Emotions show up, linger, and drift off like weather. And no storm asks who owns the sky. You don't need to fuse with every passing feeling. You only need to stop claiming them. When you sit still and stop chasing, something unexpected happens. Everything remains exactly the same, yet somehow nothing feels the same. It's not some trick, it's what shows up when all that's false fades away. You've been lost in the noise, not because it was strong, but because you believed it meant something. Meaning is a choice, experience isn't. But once you stop layering meaning onto things, experience gets lighter, clear, simple, free. The heaviness wasn't in the moment. It was in your mental commentary. Stop tracking your progress. Quit measuring how far you've come. Don't ask what's next. The part of you asking those questions disappears when the questions go quiet. Without the questioner, the questions vanish. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken. Those are just recycled thoughts, dressed as truth. Let them drift by like scenery on a passing train. And notice the train keeps going, with or without your belief. No one can give this realization to you, not because it's hidden, but because it's already happening. You don't need a new moment. You just need to stop viewing this one through the lens of a made-up identity. The filter isn't subtle. It's everything you've been calling me. When fear rises, let it. When it peaks, don't rise with it. When it falls, don't follow. Stay exactly where you are, not in thought, but in the raw noticing that comes before thought. There's no method here, only honesty. Not honesty as in saying what's true, but honesty as in no longer pretending. The pretending is the lie, the one that whispers I must become, that paints life as an unfinished task. Drop the task, not by finishing it, but by realizing it was never real. You aren't something that needs explaining, because explanations are made from what you already are. You aren't a sentence, a label, or a puzzle still missing pieces. You are the silence that lets all sound exist. You keep waiting for a click, that final shift, but there is no click. That sound you wait for is just effort dying, and silence doesn't need to announce itself. You don't need to renounce, transcend, or understand anything. Those are just new masks for the same old self. Drop them not with struggle, but with clarity. They were never yours to hold. If a thought comes, fine. If it lingers, fine. If it leaves, fine. None of it is you. You're not trapped inside what changes. What changes appears inside you, and what you are doesn't need defense, upgrade, or narrative. Look right now before the next thought arrives. Is anything missing? Can you find a center? Can you find the you asking the question? You're not separate from awareness. You are that awareness. Not the object, but the capacity to perceive it. Not the voice, but the hearing. There is no observer behind the eyes. The seeing is already happening. You don't cause it. You are it. Immediate, effortless, indivisible. This isn't a call to give up. It's a call to stop adding. Not another concept. Not another plan. Not another version of a self. Just this. What's here now. Already complete. Silence isn't something you win. It's what appears when you stop interrupting. Stillness isn't something you achieve. It's what's left when the pretending stops. Clarity was never a destination. It was what the fog obscured. You don't need to conclude this. You don't need to get it. You don't need to claim it. Let it dissolve the one who tried. Then see what's still here. Unnamed, unmeasured, and weightless. For more video, please subscribe to Nexphilo. Thanks for watching.